What's up everybody, it's Mark from 403 Fauna. On today's video, we're going to take a look at het monsoon traits. So I hope you kick back and listen in and enjoy the video. Okay, so what I got here is two normal ball pythons, and they're both a little spicy, so I'm going to be careful here. But one of them, I believe, is het monsoon. She is an offspring from a het monsoon, so would be considered 50% het monsoon. But because I believe that het monsoons have some very strong markers, she's pretty much 100% in my mind. So let's take a look at both of these snakes. Now, just by looking at them, which one do you believe is the het monsoon? The one on the left or the one on the right? Well, let's take a look at the first one on the left right here. Now this right here is a normal that is double het for hypo and desert ghost and 66% possible het genetic stripe. So there was no monsoon in the pairing. So if you guessed that the one on the right is a potential monsoon, you were correct. So het monsoons, they have very thin eye stripes, and we can see on this guy, his eye stripe is pretty thick, normalish. Het monsoons also have a head stamp, which people often describe as a paw print. This one does not have that. And also an overall aberrant pattern. Excuse my neighbor's car right there. Whereas this one is, you know, very normal, although I do believe this one is a lot brighter and more colorful than your average normal because of some het influence from the desert ghost and the hypo. Bellies also can be a factor. Let's take a look at the belly here. Although the belly does display some pattern here, it's pretty typical for a normal. So this one right here, absolutely no monsoon in the pairing, but is het for hypo and desert ghost. Now the one on the right is the result of a cross between a Mojave het monsoon with a piebald. So we have two recessives here that can play a factor in the pattern. Now het pieds tend to have markers. Towards the tail, the pattern blends and chains. Het pieds also have chaining on the tail. You can see the beautiful tracks right here. But I believe, look at this zipper down the middle of the belly. That I believe is some het monsoon influence. And this belly is just crazier than your typical het pied. Look at that head stamp. So there goes your paw print. And the pattern is just really aberrant. So this one, I believe, double het monsoon pied female I have, even though she is considered 50% het monsoon, because a het monsoon, there's a 50% chance that they pass that trait down to their offspring, and that's where that 50% comes from. But look at all the markers here. This one, definitely 100% double het pied monsoon. Now let's take a look at another offspring from this clutch that has Mojave and compare it with a normal Mojave. Quiz question number 2. Pick out the het monsoon. One here on the right or the one here on the left. Let's take a look at this one first. So this Mojave potentially has het ultramel and also het ghost, and is definitely either het cryptic or clown. Take a look at those eye stripes. So there is no het monsoon here, the pattern. Take note of the dorsal. And of course the belly. I don't think the belly is going to be much help because Mojaves typically have a white belly. But this one, absolutely no monsoon in the pairing. You can see it is brighter and more colorful than the other one, but again, we could have some het ultramel and het hypo influence in this snake. So this is the one that I believe is het monsoon. She's a sibling of the first potential het monsoon that we saw. So she's the result of cross between a Mojave het monsoon and a piebald. But we can see just how really crazy her pattern is, especially compared with that other one right there. Now head pattern, you're not gonna get head pattern on Mojaves, but there's a little dot right there towards the base. But look at those eye stripes. Compare that with the other one, thinner than the other one we just saw, especially toward the back there. Again, clean white belly because Mojaves have that. But I believe this is a Mojave double het monsoon pied. What do you guys think? Now next I'm going to share with you the father of this clutch, who is definitely het monsoon, and we'll compare it with a similar Mojave of the same size. And then I'll share with you the pairing that he will be going to this year that will hopefully produce a monsoon for me. So once again, a little side by side here. Not het monsoon. I believe het monsoon. Funny thing about these two is that they're both in blue right now. This one is actually a sibling, older sister of the non-het monsoon that we just looked at. So let's take a look at her. So this is a Mojave, het for either cryptic or clown. 66% possible het ultramel and 50% possible het hypo. So here's her eye stripes. Notice how it's a little thicker towards the back right here. We'll compare that with the het monsoon right now. Overall pattern, typical of a Mojave. We have the alien head trailing up from the bottom here with a single alien eye. It does have a few of these floaters right here, but it doesn't have any of the donuts on the back. Now let's take a look at the Mojave het monsoon male I got from Dave Green Reptiles. See, take a look at the eye stripe and how thin it is towards the back. It does have these floating donuts. The overall aberrancy of the pattern. This one's a little subtle compared with his daughter, but you could definitely tell a difference between these two right here. This guy should be shedding out in a day or two, and he's gonna go in with this next comparison, which we're gonna have, which is a little unfair, but we're gonna compare some pinstripes and wonder if one of them is het monsoon. Now look at the absolute beauty on our screen right now. Obviously they are both different morphs, but they do share the fact that they are pinstripe. So this guy right here, Pinstripe Desert Ghost. Absolute stunner. So looking at this guy, typical pinstripe, he has this full dorsal stripe going on. No crazy aberrancy with the pattern, although pinstripes naturally are a little crazy, but this is very typical of your pinstripe. Take a look at those eye stripes. Pretty thick eye stripes going on. Let's take a look at the next one. I share this girl a lot, so we know that she is 50% possible het monsoon. Banana, obviously, and het black axanthic, and that 50% possible het monsoon. Let's first take a look at those eye stripes if we can see them. And just her dorsal is just really crazy. It's not a perfect stripe like that other one. So look at this pattern right here in particular. So I think with her aberrancy, hopefully that's an indicator that she is het monsoon. Belly's not going to tell us much here. Very clean, very little banana spots. This girl, she hit the 1,200 grams. And once Tamuga, the Mojave Monsoon, sheds out, we got a lot of rain coming this week. I'm gonna put them together and hopefully make my first monsoons. Super excited for that. Hey, I hope you enjoyed this video. What do you think? Is monsoon an incomplete dominant? Or should we just continue calling it a recessive? Have a great day, everyone. Take care and be safe.